we doing stingy again, but I'm not that stingy. Hi. All right. I want to come on here. I can talk about a transit that I see coming up. We're gonna just get straight into it. So the sun is at the end of Leo. It's about to move into Virgo. We gotta be aware of this because Virgo, especially that Virgo new moon that we're gonna have, is going to be featuring the South Node in there. It's important for us not to get rid of the plot or not to forget about the plot, but allow a new type of energy and a new type of sense of direction and pivot, not pivot, direction, plot, purpose, allow and to see and be open to a new sense of purpose or the purpose that you have or the direction that you see fit going now, expect for, the waning of it. Waning means when the moon is, it's full and then it wanes, it it darkens again to start a new cycle. Let's be aware of the waning of what purpose or what sense of direction we think we have today. Obviously have some discretion, discernment or whatnot of what that means in your life, but let's not get too hung up on, you know, what we see. Some, I think around this time of next month, let's skip some days forward real quick. Skip some days forward, yeah. Oh, it's a new moon as soon, pretty much as it goes into Virgo. Um, let's just let's be careful. Just be careful of not being in our own, not seeing outside of our own perspective and view of things, and allow for the partner or another, to come in and give us some type of influence, with the new moon happening in the same sign as the South Node. See, the South Node, it calls for a decrease in whatever planet is near and close by to it. The sun represents direction, plot, purpose, what motivates us, you know, from our own individuality and creative circuit of energy. What do we select? Things that we select rather than what's put in front of us. That's what the sun represents. And when the sun comes conjoined the South Node, there may be feelings. I can predict that there is feelings and moments of purposelessness, and not get too entrenched in that purposelessness to where we make rash and unsound decisions, that's going to put our life, uh, that's going to keep us on track. Virgo is a sign of Mercury. Mercury is fluid between boundaries, but when it's in an earth sign, it's fluid in between boundaries, meaning there's shifts, there's many different things, there's duality, it can code switch is what Mercury is. But when we talk about Mercury's domicile in an earth sign now we looking at foundations and structures that we have, and having there's some people with Virgo placements have the potential to be anxious and on edge, too meticulous, trying to control everything. Venus is debilitated here, where you need to allow things to flow. That is going to be a key situation that's going to happen in the next upcoming month. Being in that flow state and being present. That's what I live by. But not being too being meticulous, but not losing purpose and sight on what something else can bring us, depending on what house it is. This next month, this next moon cycle might be, it might feel good or for worse for you. What else is happening? But right when the new moon happens, the new moon is going to be featured square Uranus. So it's going to be unexpected breakthroughs and changes that we haven't seen, insights from the divine God that we can't literally see with the naked eye, literally. To be aware of that, this month is going to be, Venus is debilitated, let's not lose sight of relating and letting things flow and enjoying the pleasures and stuff like that. Let's keep stuff like that in mind during this next month while the sun is in Virgo. Having discretion between and discernment. This is very discrimination. Really picking things apart, being critical. Fixing up what might have been going wrong in the past months or whatnot. This is the time for that. Let's not be blindsided by this next moon cycle with that Uranus square, because Uranus is very rash, it's very fast. Things happen quickly, unexpected, sudden. That's my quick little delineation about what's going on, what to be aware of, to be aware. Mercury's in Leo. The ruler of this moon is going to be in Leo. Leo is a sign of regality. It's a sign of leaders. It's a sign of alignment, the right way, The sun and Mercury won't see each other, but the sun will be in Mercury's domicile. So this is kind of another, I'm not going to say another Leo season, but Leo is a part of this next month cycle, lunar cycle. Regality, leadership, shine, putting yourself out there, to lead, to be center stage in some way. How are you center stage in your life? These are questions that you should be pondering on right now, especially since we just had the Leo cycle. Get your voice out there in somehow. That's what Mercury and Leo speaks about. Making an announcement, announcement type speak. I'm not talking about literal announcements, announcement type energy. What is something that you want to that you would want to announce, not to announcing necessarily, but just having that in mind, it's a rhetorical question. Yeah, that's real quick, real simple. We got $10 readings, birth natal chart readings, mundane collective things, what's going on. We could talk about that. Get in the inbox, $10, Stingy Read on IG. It's going to be in the link in the description. Get at us. $5 horary readings. Get at us. This is going to pay for my gas and, my food, my fruits. So get at me. All right. Stingy, y'all. But I'm not that stingy, y'all.